One got banned from Japan, arrested in Korea, and detained in Israel in the same year. One went viral for being fake rich, fake married, and maybe even fake famous. And the last one, he turned his wife into a business model, literally. Johnny Somali spiraled out of everyone's good books, leaving behind a global mess of headaches and police reports. His name rings out less like a creator and more like a warning label in 3 languages. As soon as he touched down in Japan, it was clear he had one goal: to cause as much chaos as humanly possible. He rolled through train stations with loudspeakers, blaring racist edits, shouted fake bomb threats in crowded restaurants, and antagonized locals like it was his brand. In one clip, he yelled "Hiroshima" at pedestrians. In another, he played porn audio in public midday. This was outright embarrassing. Japan responded like a country that takes public order seriously. In September 2023, police in Osaka arrested him after he wandered into a restricted hotel construction site during one of his streams. It should have been the moment he reevaluated his whole life. Instead, he doubled down. Weeks after getting out, he was back in Japan doing the same thing. He was harassing people in subways, causing scenes, and treating the streets like his personal prank show. Local streamers got involved, tracking his movements and feeding real-time updates to police. When you've got an entire country's internet users trying to shut you down, you're well past the line of cultural disrespect. Things got uglier from there. He flew to South Korea and took his nonsense to a whole new level. Rather than a simple annoyance, he chose to mock a memorial. This one was honoring victims of wartime sexual slavery.
An African-American YouTuber acts lewdly towards Sonia Sang, or Statue of Peace. He even sits on the statue's laps and dances.
He literally kissed the statue, which is an act so offensive that it triggered public outrage on a national scale. The historical trauma behind that monument meant nothing to him, and it showed. Authorities weren't slow to act. He was arrested again, but this time the headlines didn't stop at public disturbance. Later, he was hit with a separate charge involving child sexual harassment after making inappropriate comments to minors during a different livestream. What once passed as trolling was now crossing into outright criminal behavior.
대한민국에서 앞으로 저렇게 소말리 같은 애들 진짜 처리할 거니까 앞으로 대한민국에서 하지 마. 알겠지? 소말리. 야, 굿나잇 소말리. 굿나잇.
Then came the Middle East tour. In Tel Aviv, Israel, he streamed himself harassing police officers, zeroing in on female officers as if it were a joke. In one video, he gets in a cop's face, keeps filming after being told to stop, and somehow acts surprised when he's detained. Even creators known for pushing limits started backing away. It stopped being wild entertainment and started looking like a public safety issue. At one point, his streams were pulling 20,000 live viewers. After his arrest in Korea, Google searches for his name spiked, but that brief spike came with consequences. One by one, platforms kicked him off. Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, even the lesser-known streaming sites began to flag his content as too toxic to host. His online presence started to rot from the inside. By mid-2024, he was officially banned from entering multiple countries. His reputation imploded. He wasn't some rebel challenging censorship. He was a case study of why it exists. There's no creative arc here, no misunderstood genius, no artistic statement, just a guy who thought outrage was a career path and found out that most people eventually stopped watching the train wreck.
Yo, what was the problem earlier? What was the problem earlier? Y'all started me go to jail.
He assumed the internet would protect him from real-world consequences, but it turns out Border Patrol doesn't care about clout. At this stage, Johnny Somali isn't facing a decline in popularity, he's living in digital exile, running out of platforms, running out of countries, and rapidly running out of time. This is a collapse of credibility, one live stream at a time. Lala Sadii built her empire on soft lighting, staged scenarios, and crush content so specific that it made her followers question whether she had access to their group chats. Beneath the heart-shaped filters and sad girl playlists, something started to rot, and it didn't take long for the internet to catch the scent. Her content shifted from relatable to delusional almost overnight. One day it was awkward run-ins with your high school crush. The next, she's making skits about a random crush at the airport while pretending it's just quirky humor, except nobody was laughing. What used to feel like fun tween escapism turned into something more darker, more manipulative, more performative, and way more off-putting. More often than that, she was wiping tears with her merch. It was attention-seeking with mascara streaks. She used emotional breakdowns the way most influencers use promo codes, frequently and with suspicious timing. Her fanbase, mostly tweens and teens, stayed loyal through the cringe, but the internet at large started noticing her weird actions. And instead of addressing concerns, Lala doubled down, accusing critics of being jealous or too old to get it. She framed basic pushback as bullying and somehow made genuine concern look like an attack.
Okay, so in this video, I was literally, by the way, I was doing absolutely nothing. I was literally like baking, and the comment was like, I don't believe her. What do you not believe, that I'm cooking? My eyes are green.
I don't believe her. She has fake contacts in.
I'm wearing jeans right now.
I don't believe her. It's not made out of actual jeans. It's made out of shorts. It's like short.
Then she dragged her siblings into the chaos. Her YouTube channel went from lighthearted challenges to full-blown reality show dysfunction. Pranks got meaner, reactions felt staged. Her little brother Moni looked exhausted half the time, like he'd rather be grounded than film another fake breakup video. It was starting to feel less like a family and more like unpaid talent in a content mill. But nothing stirred the plot like her sudden music career. After dropping Murder My Feelings, she started using her songs as ammo in her own manufactured feuds. Fans speculated they were about her exes, her haters, and maybe even other creators. Lala never confirmed, but she always made sure the drama simmered just enough to keep streams going. The line between reality and performance disappeared, and that was the point. And then there was the Joshua debacle.
I'm obsessed with Joshua. Joshua is my crush, my boyfriend, my future husband. He's everything, he's my world.
For months, Lala built an entire fake boyfriend cinematic universe around a character named Joshua. The plot twist got ridiculous with cheating, meeting, and cheating again, all told through skits and voiceovers. And yet somehow, she's still standing. Maybe it's the algorithm, maybe it's the kids who grew up watching her and can't let go, maybe it's the human instinct to rubberneck a train wreck. But one thing's for sure, Lala Sadii isn't evolving, she's unraveling. And the scariest part, she's filming all of it. This isn't your typical fall from grace. There's no big cancellation, no final apology, no I've grown notes at post. Just a slow, spiraling implosion in real time, wrapped in pastel aesthetics and auto-tuned heartbreak songs. Whatever you want to call it, performance art, attention addiction, or just plain mess, it's working. But for how long? Because at this rate, Lala Sadii won't go out with a bang. She'll fade out mid-TikTok, still lip-syncing through the drama. Adam Grand Mason, better known as Adam22, didn't just flirt with controversy. He put a ring on it, filmed the honeymoon, and dropped the OnlyFans link in his podcast bio. What started as a BMX blog and edgy music commentary spiraled into a cesspool of scandals so layered it makes reality TV look subtle. The man built No Jumper as a haven for underground artists and raw conversations, but by 2018, the raw part started looking more like exploitation. Guests were barely legal clout chasers, Instagram models, and the occasional felon with a mixtape. And Adam? He played the chill host while letting chaos unfold like it was a UFC match with mics. Let's start with the early mess. The sexual assault allegations. Back in 2018, multiple women came forward accusing Adam of coercive behavior, grooming, and using his platform to manipulate fans. One woman claimed she was 16 when they first had contact. His response was a sloppy mix of denial, deflection, and she's lying for clout. No charges were filed, but the stain stuck. He never quite shook the image of being the creep behind the mic. But Adam didn't pivot. He monetized. He leaned harder into the gutter, inviting adult film stars, TikTok trash talkers, and anyone with enough trauma to spill for viewers. He sat smirking through interviews with gang-affiliated rappers, letting beefs escalate on air like he was refereeing street drama. At one point, No Jumper became less of a podcast and more of a digital trap house with lighting. Then came the House of Cards collapse when multiple hosts started peeling off, accusing him of shady business deals and racial insensitivity. Former co-host AD, a black rapper and longtime contributor, left the show citing disrespect, backdoor conversations, and being replaced by wider, edgier talent. The message was clear. Adam wasn't building community, he was building controversy factories and replacing parts whenever the machine got noisy. Oh, and let's not forget the Richard Spencer interview. Yep, the same Richard Spencer who was literally punched in the face on live TV for being a white nationalist. Adam brought him on No Jumper for a calm conversation. No grilling, no challenge, just platforming. The backlash was immediate and volcanic. Fans, co-hosts, and even former guests torched him online. Adam's defense was that it's just a conversation, as if normalization isn't how extremist garbage goes mainstream. But none of that matched the thermonuclear chaos of Adam22's personal life becoming public kink content. When he and his wife, Lena the Plug, started broadcasting their open marriage and posting sex tapes with other partners on OnlyFans, the internet screen recorded. People weren't shocked that they were doing adult content. They were shocked by how proudly Adam branded himself as the dude who lets other men sleep with his wives for clicks, clout, and cash.
Even yesterday, I was in a huge orgy with her, with like 10 other people, and she's the only girl in the orgy, that was only hooking up with me as far as dudes go, and then she was hooking up with the other girls as well.
But there are other naked men around.
Yeah.
The now infamous Jason Love tape, Twitter threads broke down Adam's reaction frame by frame. Reddit lit up like wildfire, and instead of explaining or backing out, Adam leaned in. It was the kind of post-ironic self-humiliation that somehow turned to be a walking L into brand loyalty. Every time it looked like Adam would finally get canceled, he pivoted. When the culture said enough, he said, but wait, what if we added porn stars to the podcast table? And it worked. Briefly, until it didn't. Because No Jumper isn't the empire it used to be. With views down and trust fractured, former guests now drag him more than they plug him. And Adam? He's still sitting there, tattooed and unbothered, acting like it's all part of the plan. It's as if becoming the face of podcast degeneracy was a long game instead of a slow car crash in 4K. He's not a provocateur. He's not a genius of internet media. He's just a guy who kept pushing the line until the ground beneath him turned into quicksand. From predators to porn to platforming white nationalists, Adam22 crossed boundaries. And the irony is that he built a brand by letting people talk, but now nobody buys what he says. All three of these walking disasters, Johnny Somali, Lala Sadii, and Adam22, didn't just fall from grace. They sprinted off the edge, live streamed it, monetized the splash, and still somehow thought they were the main character. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. Do you want more breakdowns of public implosions, viral villains, and the madness behind the clout machine? Stick around because this rabbit hole's just getting deeper. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.